Wreck My Podcast.
Grab your chocolate milk and get ready for this week's episode. Oh, you don't have chocolate milk? Plain milk's fine. This week on Wreck My Christmas.
Wreck My Podcast.
Welcome to Wreck My Podcast, where this week we are so much closer to Christmas that we had to cover the Christmas movie that won the poll. That's right, we're doing the Santa Claus this year. It's been three Christmases.
Did it win the North Pole?
The North Pole?
Hey, said it won the poll.
Yeah, it won the poll. The North Pole. That's the North Pole. It's a literal pole.
It's a literal poll.
I think
Yes.
it's funny that we all just assumed we've already done this movie for the cast.
We really,
Yeah.
yes, we all thought we did. It's been three Christmases, I think, now, and we finally are getting to my favorite Christmas movie ever.
My favorite Christmas movie.
No,
ever. Step off.
I'm older than
No.
you, and I was watching this
care.
before you.
I don't care.
I have bad
Seniority.
blood with this movie.
Seniority. Okay,
Wow.
let me introduce my guest before we get going here. I mean, do I even need to introduce you guys anymore? People who
Yes,
listen
we
to
might
this
have a
movie-
new listener.
Okay, fine. He field dressed a cat and looked for women. It's Cam.
Yeah, I do regularly. And look, I have my hair in a weird little ponytail on top that looks like a broccoli.
It's Broccoli Cam.
Yeah.
When he wakes up, he's getting a CAT scan. It's Kreger.
Topo Shisho.
Oh, he
I
stole the
knew
good
he was
line.
gonna.
Stole
Knew
the
he was
good
gonna
line.
say
That's my
that.
favorite. That's my favorite.
My
I'm
other
glad
guest.
that you actually said it correctly too.
Yeah, because I normally don't say it right. I go popo shisho.
Yeah, I usually say it with a P instead of a T.
Yes, I do, because P is way funnier than T. My other guest, he's got key lime's disease. It's Joe.
P is funnier than T. But I like drinking tea, and I don't like drinking pee.
There you go. Sage wisdom from Joe. And I'm your host. But what do I do if I fall off the roof? My name's Jordan. So
That's the one you came up with? For
yeah, what do I
yourself?
do? Yeah, what do I do if I fall off the roof?
Yeah, what was
I don't
wrong with
know.
that?
I was pretty
Because
good. I
the
just
roof-
thought Jordan was
the
going to
roof-
say that he was an elf. He needed to be a more realistic looking elf.
I mean, I would be a more realistic looking elf. I had Jerry Curl way better than Bernard did growing up.
Though also, I can't picture you on a roof.
No, I would never be on a roof. You would never get me up there. So it just.
But
I
you would
couldn't
say,
be
what if I fell off the roof? for
Yeah,
sure.
I would be very concerned about what would happen if I fell off the roof, but I would never actually be on the roof.
Hey, speaking of, did the roofs of these houses look exceptionally square to you?
Oh,
Yes.
definitely. I don't think they make roofs that square anymore.
Especially where it snows. It's not structurally
No,
smart.
it would never be square.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in
There's
suburb
no
of
drainage.
well, it's supposed to be a suburb of Chicago, and there's no
Dang.
way the roofs would be that square in Chicago.
Let's ask
from
Ryan.
Chicago.
Yeah, let's have a phone a friend of Ryan who's from Chicago.
Ryan
What do you-
Butts.
Yeah, hey buds, what do you think?
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
will your house is square? And he's like, oh, let me tell you about square.
Square. All right.
The Bears.
The Bears. So let's get into this movie real quick here. I'm gonna do Jordan Explains the Movie. I'm sure many people have probably not watched this movie since either you haven't watched this movie since you were a child, or you watch this movie every year. I don't think there's like a middle ground for this one. So here is
because it's
this-
my favorite movie.
the plot of the Santa Claus.
Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly.
Scott Calvin is a marketing genius when it comes to toys, but he's not the best dad. His son Charlie is staying with him for Christmas Eve, and after some failed attempts to show Charlie a good time, they call it a night. But they wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of something on the roof and indirectly kill Santa, so now Scott has to take his place. Scott doesn't want to take the job, but he's required to because of the Santa Claus, which states anyone who puts on the suit becomes Santa. After fighting it, Scott turns into Santa. Charlie helps him embrace his new role and turns from stuffy businessman to jolly old Saint Nick. And there's some flying elves, cops, weenie whistles, and slight felonies along the way. Everything you need for a great Christmas movie. All right, so let's go through. I think we've all seen this movie before. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Cam,
Definitely.
you said the last time you watched this, you were a child, right?
Yes, and I also said that I had like a big bone to pick with this movie.
So yeah, what do you think of the movie, and what's your big bone to pick? Your 16-inch bone.
Ha.
My Tinder 16.
Your Tinder 16.
It's a big chicken tender.
So I will say it's a great Christmas movie. It's a phenomenal Christmas movie. Probably one of my top 3, top 4. But I haven't watched it since I was a kid because this is the movie that I watched that made me ask my mom if Santa was real.
Ooh.
After I remember watching this movie and I was like, oh shit. And this movie made me not believe in Santa Claus anymore.
You know what? You bring up a fair point now. Most Christmas movies, even children's Christmas movies, really do spoil the fact that Santa isn't real.
That's what they do the whole time. And then at the end, you're supposed to be like, oh no, I believe it now. But once you start like getting wise to it, you're a kid and you go like, why do all the adults not believe in Santa if Santa's legit?
Yeah.
And then you go like, wait a second.
That's like the cardinal sin right there.
Before. That is so true.
Yeah. So this movie ruined Santa for me. And I remember that night I was sobbing because my mom had lied to me my whole life.
What
and then
were you
she
like?
told me that
13?
No, I was about 26.
Oh, okay.
But she, the deal was that for every year until my sister stopped believing in Santa, I could eat the cookies and milk.
Oh, that's a good deal. Yeah, that's a good
and
deal.
I was like, that works for me.
And that's when his lactose intolerance started.
Yeah, your agent seriously. Definitely did you good on that one.
Oh, okay. So, Krager, how about you? When was the last time you watched this movie, since it's your favorite movie and not my favorite Christmas movie?
Well, I watched it this weekend for this, but before that was last Christmas.
That should be the answer every time.
Well, I watched it.
When was the last time you watched this?
Like a day or 2 ago, man. I don't know.
I had to. So you watch this every year. You're like me. This is like a yearly watch for sure.
Yes, you are like me, Jordan.
I am like you. But how many times have you seen this movie?
I honestly can't count. That's how many times it's been.
I can safely say I've seen this movie over 100 times.
Holy crap.
You got me beat then.
Because the reason is my friend Andy, who's my longest friend I've had. I've known him since 2nd grade, and he's not your longest. He's the longest. Friend. He's super long. He's pretty long.
He is definitely your shortest friend who've known the longest.
No, he's a good 16 inches. He's a bumble 16. So me and him growing up would watch this movie regardless if it was Christmas or not. Every other weekend when we would be sleeping over at each other's house, this is the movie we would put on when we would get in bed. So we watched this movie probably at least 100 times in like 3 years.
Why was this the movie?
Because we loved this movie. We thought this was
not like Three Ninjas.
No, actually, I didn't watch Three Ninjas a ton when I was younger. I watched it like a handful of times.
Yeah.
This movie I watched more than, probably on par with how many times I watched Star Wars. I watched The Santa Claus.
That's
crazy.
I relinquish my stake to the claim.
That's right. When it's
I will settle for the Home Alone King.
Yeah, there you go. You can have that one. But when it's 110 degrees out in the middle of summer and you're popping on Santa Claus, that's
Santa Claus.
Move that out of the way, Cam. We don't want to see anything.
Oh no, Corey just got out of the shower.
That's what I mean.
Nice.
Okay, so Joe, you're the last one. Is this a yearly watch for you, or is this like? Do you not seen it since a kid?
No, it's not a yearly watch, but last time I saw it was definitely maybe last year or 2 years ago. It was fairly recent, but always probably around the holidays. I definitely don't watch it outside the holidays. And yeah, I mean, I love this movie. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, Cam, do you, now watching as an adult, being removed from your Santa Claus debacle, do you find this movie enjoyable, or are not really because you never had the nostalgia of it?
I have no nostalgia for this movie, and all of my memory is pain. So, also, look how dope my broccoli looks from this angle. So,
it looks like a little palm tree on an island.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have a little Zuko on your head.
I do have a little tiny. I've got like a miniature Zuko. But yeah, I don't know. I watched it and I laughed a couple times, like, and had a good time. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a great Christmas movie. But also, I'm a Scrooge. I don't like Christmas, so.
Well, there you go. Scrooge over here. We should have watched Scrooged.
Yeah, except I'm just poor Scrooge. I don't have money. Like,
yeah, at least Scrooge has money.
said
Yeah.
said the new homeowner.
Hey, by the way,
I don't have
Cam,
money. Yeah.
is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Hey, that's the opposite of what I thought he was
Attaboy.
going to say.
No, Die Hard's a Christmas
Attaboy.
movie.
He only
So
says
is
it's a Christmas
Gremlins.
movie because it has Christmas and Hollis in it, and he likes that song.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then and Gremlins is a Christmas movie too.
Well, I kind
Gremlins
of
is a Christmas movie.
I'm kind of starting to think maybe Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. I always did think it was until Elite Eight Showdown just had their latest episode come out, and they crowned Die Hard the Christmas movie that isn't a Christmas movie. And I was like, well, if they think it is, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. I don't know.
That's fair. Because I listen to them all the time.
You do. Mhm.
And I actually, I'm a patron also. And
Except
I
you
got
give
bonus.
them a quarter of a penny every month.
No, he just
Yeah.
by a patron, he just patronizes them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I don't. It's a good Christmas movie. It's not. I don't care. Of the 5 that are good and typically in the rotation, like that's one.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think this is always in my rotation. I love this one so much.
Corey likes this movie a lot.
Yeah, I think some years I laugh more than others. I think this year was a good laugh year for me. I was really just digging the vibe of the movie when we were watching it.
I actually laughed out loud pretty hard at one part, and it was when the firefighter was talking.
The firefighter.
Oh.
And she's like in the class.
Sorry about your partner.
Yeah.
The teacher is my favorite. That whole scene is my favorite thing because when they're like talking about elves, she's like, we don't call them elves, we call them little people.
Little people.
And he's
yeah.
like, no, they're real. And she's like, whatever, honey. Like she's just so over being a teacher to kids.
I love the part where Scott Calvin's shitting on
The roof.
Neil's sweater, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
Then he's like, I know you can pick up my sweaters now. You were right.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, Judge Reinhold. I mean, that guy. I love that guy. I wish he did more stuff than he did. I mean, I know he did a lot, but I wish he was more popular than he was.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's so good. Okay, so
I actually laughed out loud a bunch of times, but I did have additional assistance.
Yes, he had caffeine.
Yes, but on that note,
I'm all out of caffeine out here.
I made notes of what I was thinking during like certain scenes.
Ooh, okay, let's do Joe's notes first. I want to know these notes. Joe's caffeinated notes.
Yes. The first one was, how are you out of chocolate milk?
Yeah. It's Denny's. Yeah, how?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You don't have chocolate syrup somewhere? Anywhere?
No.
What are you using for your desserts?
Yeah, for your Sundays. They totally got some Hershey's back there.
Second note.
Good question.
Damn, I want those PJs.
Those are pretty awesome PJs.
Those are nice
silky
PJs.
red PJs.
This is my favorite one. Did one guy put all those packages in? He deserves a raise. How long was he shaving for? Wait, is he an elf disguised as a mailman? Oh, there's a bunch of them. That makes more sense.
I like the idea that Joe is writing this note as the scene is going on. So you're seeing his mind as the scene. He's like, oh, there's a lot of trucks. Never mind.
Joe's caffeinated mind.
Oh my god.
Do you know those were all FedEx trucks before the logo switch?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were Federal Express trucks.
Oh, also, I wrote some notes down listening to Twas the Night's episode. And I have bullet points. I have bones to pick, but we can come back.
We'll get to that at the end.
Interesting.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I watched that movie, but I couldn't be on with my internet.
Yeah, I unfortunately watched it too.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys actually did watch it. I was curious if you did.
Yeah.
My next note was, hey, all the cop cars are parked at the donut shop.
Yes.
In the map that's behind them.
The map, it said they're at the donut shop. And actually, there's a reference to Home Alone there, too. There was something about, I think there was something on the board about a family in Florida and having to go check their house. And that's supposed to be Home Alone 2. A little reference to that there.
They live in Florida in Home Alone 2?
Yeah, they go to Florida, but then Kevin gets on the wrong plane, and that's why he goes to New York.
Oh, Gotcha.
And Kevin really sucks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does. He's the worst
Hey.
kid.
Hey.
All right, Joe, what else you got?
Geez, the Let Santa Go girl has some serious buck teeth. You can chop wood with them bad boys.
Oh my gosh.
And then the last note is, why is this sleigh green?
Oh, at the end, like they changed
Yeah.
the sleigh. Yeah, like what the heck, man? It's so
New paint
weird.
job.
So weird.
Those
So
are my
weird.
notes.
Cool.
Caffeinated notes.
I like the caffeinated notes.
Joe, I really wish I had some caffeine.
Yeah, well, I can ship you some coffee.
That'd be fantastic.
Some Honu.
That's not a felony. All right, so that office at the beginning is like the most 90s office I've ever seen in my life. That thing. Well, everything's glass. Do they do that anymore in offices? They don't do that anymore, right? Where everything's glass.
I think so. I think glass is always popular in offices.
I just don't think
Yeah.
we're rich enough to be in that kind of office.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
No, a lot of offices I've been into are have glass walls, and it's all like open space and a lot. It's similar.
Okay, well then I stand corrected. I realized watching this that all my favorite Christmas songs are from Christmas movies. So like White Christmas from the Drifters is in this and Home Alone.
Yep.
I love Rock Around the Christmas Tree because that's in Home Alone. And I'm like, every Christmas thing I like just revolves around the movies I'm a fan of.
And that's so funny you say that, because I realized that a few days ago as well. It's like every Christmas song I associate to a certain movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even like Run Rudolph Run or whatever. Yep. There was a line, and I remember this as a kid when he's like, "You like Oso Boko Charlie?" And I'm always was like, "What's Oso Buco?" And I still don't know to today.
You don't? It's a braised veal shank in a tomato sauce.
Oh,
It's an
I thought it
Italian
was
thing.
like risotto or something.
Nope. Risotto is
It
risotto.
would be called risotto if it was
Well, I
risotto.
thought it was like a version of it. Like risotto is like a grain, and maybe Oso Buco is like something
Oso
like
risotto?
a grain.
I thought it was Elvin for Sambuca.
Ooh,
Ooh.
maybe.
Yeah, no. Ossobuco is delicious.
Never had it.
You would like it.
I noticed that this was filmed in Canada right off the bat because when they pull up to the Denny's, you see in the background the beer store, and the beer store only exists in Canada. So I was like, yeah, way to not hide the fact that you're not in the United States at all. That Denny's actually doesn't exist anymore. It was the first Denny's ever opened in Ontario, and it's just a vacant, empty spot now. No store there. Yeah, the beer store is gone too.
We know that Disney loves to film in Canada.
They do.
Oh,
They
speaking
do.
of locations, I didn't do any research on this, but I was just watching movies as I go to bed, and I was watching The Mummy Returns, and the O'Connell's house, I believe, is the same castle/house from the new Gorilla movie. Looked like almost identical.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen that either.
Just random little thing.
The new gorilla movie?
Cruella.
Oh.
You know, that new gorilla movie. It's Mighty Joe. It's Mighty Old Joe.
No, it's
Mighty
actually
old
The Life of Harambe.
Oh,
Godzilla
man.
versus Kong.
Oh yeah, the Godzilla versus Kong. You know, that house down in the
Gorilla.
center of the earth.
Where the axe
That's where-
was.
Yeah, it's where he gets his gorilla axe. That
It's
makes
gorilla
no sense.
axe, exactly. So I love the synergy of this movie where the cable company is giving him the
Synergy.
Disney Channel on a Disney.
Oh,
Oh,
Channel.
yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, what's that called? Vertical. What's it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking
that
about.
stupid branding term.
Yeah, it's oh my god.
Synergy.
Vertical integration.
That's it. Integration. Yes, that's the word.
Yeah.
I do have to say, in rewatching this, I didn't like. Now it's like I don't know why it only just clicked to me. Maybe because I've been like listening to a lot of true crime podcasts. Like, it's pretty dark when like Charlie's missing and like their parents don't know. Like,
I was gonna
just
say
looking at it from their point of view, like Scott Calvin looks like an insane person, and their son is gone, and they have no idea what's going on. And like, yeah, that's some pretty scary stuff.
That's a note I made that I never realized as a kid. I was like, why is everyone so freaking out? Like, obviously, this guy is turning into Santa. Why can't people realize it? I'm like, I never picked up on the fact they thought he was emotionally manipulating his child and trying to, like, steal him.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
When we were watching it, and the stepfather was like getting upset that, Charlie was going to talk to his dad, say goodbye. And Kate goes, he's kind of a jerk for not letting, the dad say goodbye to the son. And that's what I said. I was like, well, think of it from his point of view. He's a psychologist. He already thinks Calvin's unstable. This is the exact type of behavior someone that's unstable would do. Mm-hmm. That's what these situations turn into.
I think
it makes sense why he would be upset.
Speaking of that, I think the part I laughed the hardest at is when Neil is talking to Scott and he's like,
and finally realizes.
Well, no, when he's saying, he goes, I think Charlie is conflicted. And Tim Allen's like, yeah, wow. Like, no duh. Like, oh, that part cracked me up.
I love the little one-liners in there too. So like, Neil's a good listener. Yeah. And then he charges you for it.
Yeah. Oh, Tim Allen. I love that guy, man. So some more stuff I noticed here. How has Santa never woken anyone else up before? Like, if
seriously,
because he's magic, dude. He's magic.
The kid wakes up.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. Also,
and that's a pretty big thunk on the roof.
Yeah, Santa's got to be a little bit better. Up? Yeah, Santa's got to be.
Was the night did it better.
Want the funk?
Well, also, he lives in a townhome. How did no one else in the townhome wake up then?
Because they all take trazodone.
There you go.
Riboflavin.
Too much whiskey in the eggnog.
There you go. Well, speaking of eggnog, Scott Calvin says that he's lactose intolerant, yet wants eggnog earlier in the movie.
Yep.
Nope. Inconsistent. I like that
he's not actually lactose intolerant. He's just lying to the kid so he doesn't have to drink milk.
That's true. Gross milk has been sitting out all night.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
That is a good point. He puts on a tool belt and is like, nah, as a nod to Tim the Toolman Taylor. Thought that was good. So there's an elf whose sole job is to live in the freezing cold and one time a year, maybe once every century, come around a corner, put a code into a keypad, and then walk away.
No, I'm shutting this down now. That is stupid. He clearly lives underneath where there's simply a hatch, and his job is just he has to go up, punch the button, and go back down.
Like Santa can't remember a 4-digit code.
I know, seriously.
That is dumb.
Oh.
No, yeah, he lives like in the cold under just like one of those aluminum space blankets.
That may be one of the dumbest things you've said.
Oh, I always thought that.
Yeah, he lives on the inside of a tauntaun. Good job.
This is not a dumb thing. Santa has arrhythmia. Is anyone else worried about that? He's got some pretty serious sinus arrhythmia with his heartbeat.
Here's the thing that. Yeah, seriously. Here's one thing that I noticed when the original Santa falls and Scott Calvin goes to the North Pole. Like, none of the elves care that the old Santa's dead.
Here's the thing. That's weird too, but we're gonna get into some
heartless.
We're gonna get into some fan theories later that might shed light onto why that's super morbid or why it's not as bad as you think. We got some fan theories where we'll talk about that.
Stupid.
We'll talk about those in a little bit. But my last thing I wanted to mention here is that desk cop, the guy who's like, give me that donut. He's reading like an erotic novel.
Yeah.
You don't do that at work?
You would too if you were a desk cop.
That's true. I probably would.
On Christmas.
I probably would. Yeah, I would. All right. So let's talk about some people who were in this movie, all that kind of the info about this movie.
Also, jump back to that. If this movie was made now, that would be some weird weeb guy and he'd be watching hentai.
Oh, totally.
On his phone.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There'd be tentacles just coming out of that thing.
Okay.
Yeah. The metaverse is going to be full of tentacles, guys. So this movie came out November 11th, 1994. It had a $22 million budget and it grossed $145 million. That is amazing for an early mid-90s holiday comedy movie. That is crazy.
Tim Allen was a hit in the 90s.
Get this, Tim Allen, for the 1 week in November that this movie came out in 1994, Tim Allen had the #1 movie at the box office, the #1 rated television show, Home Improvement, and the #1 New York Times best-selling book, Don't Stand Too Close to a Naked Man. The trifecta right there.
He had a book?
Was this before or after he had his run-in with the law?
After, because it was late 80s he had the run-in. Once he was on Home
when
Improvement.
He had the cocaine in his...
The cocaine
Suitcase,
stuff was the
butthole?
80s, which this is one of the first times at Disney they had a strict policy of not hiring felons to be in their movies, and they let Tim Allen be in this one.
And
It's
they're
weird,
you know,
like-
we'll just pay you in cocaine, and he was like,
Yeah,
oh, sick.
sweet.
It's really shocking that like a rich white dude in the 80s would have that substance on him. It's so shocking.
Crazy.
Yeah, super crazy.
World's a crazy place, man.
It is. So what do you guys
Thanks,
think
man.
for Rotten Tomato scores?
Ooh.
Critic 88, fan 94.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's yeah,
Voting
that's
real high there.
Those-
Okay.
Critic-
Those are good. Those are good
critic
numbers.
89, fan 96.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going prices right.
One.
Critic 87. Fan, I'll go 92.
So you guys were like way too high. A 72%
Oh.
critic score and a 65% audience score.
Oh,
Wow,
hell
the
yeah.
audience was less than the
What?
critic.
Yeah, they all got
How did it
burned
make
by
that much
movie,
money
too.
then?
Yeah, that was all the review. Just
Yeah.
this movie ruined Santa for me.
How
Yeah.
did it make that much money?
I mean, it's because it's a kids movie in the 90s during Christmas, and like everyone wanted to see Tim Allen. That's kind of what it boiled
Yeah.
down to.
And this movie also probably just made a ton off the back end on video rentals.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
I always got to make it off your back end.
Yes, you do. So this was written by Steve Rudnick and Leo Benevenuti. They have also written
Benevenuti.
Benevenuti. They wrote all the Santa Claus movies as well as Space Jam, which
Yeah,
is
buddy.
pretty cool that we covered on this podcast. And they were also writers on the Muppets reboot TV show. Do you guys remember this? Like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
they had
Yeah, I remember that show.
the Muppets in the filming style of The Office, but it was like a talk show that Fozzie Bear was like, or Kermit was a lead on or something.
It wasn't good.
Oh,
No, it was not good.
Can we watch Muppet Treasure Island?
Sure, I love
Oh,
Muppet.
Tim Curry?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
with
love
Tim-
Muppet Treasure Island.
There used to be a computer game they used to play all the time of that.
Muppet Treasure Island was awesome. It's what I learned what scurvy was. They had a song about scurvy on the VHS before the movie. It was like a stupid Muppet song, but they were talking about
So
scurvy.
that's how Jordan learned about his vitamin C
Yeah.
deficiency.
Yes.
Oh my
I turned, speaking of Muppets, I turned on Muppets A Christmas Carol while I was writing the D&D campaign for this past week, because we're in the thick of like this really intense campaign, and I had them like something happened and they all got transported to a Christmas world, and we did a Christmas episode.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's great.
But
That's
I
awesome.
had that in the background with Michael Caine.
Oh
Michael
my
Caine
gosh.
is Ebenezer Scrooge.
Michael Caine has made some weird choices in movies.
There's a lot of cocaine
you-
references. In
There
this
are a lot of
episode.
good Scrooge movies.
Yeah, a lot of cocaine.
A lot of cocaine references. Okay, so this movie was directed by John Pasquin. Now, I've never heard of this guy, but he's done
Anna
so...
Paquin's super distant cousin.
Yes, super distant that they even have a whole letter different in their name.
Yeah.
He was really into Tim Allen stuff. So he directed 73 episodes of Last Man Standing. He directed Home
Nice.
Improvement episodes. He directed Jungle to Jungle.
Oh, I love that movie.
But he also directed a ton of episodes of Roseanne. He directed a ton of
Gross.
episodes of the George Lopez Show. He directed a ton of
Nice.
episodes of Family Ties with Michael J. Fox when he was younger. And he
Nice.
directed a bunch of Growing Pains episodes. This guy was a big director. I just didn't know his name.
There's a
But
lot of TV.
A lot
That's
of
not
TV,
my name.
man. A
That's
lot of
not my
TV.
name.
There's a lot of
So this
TV.
movie is starring Tim Allen, that Buzz Lightyear, the Tool the Tim,
That guy.
Tim the Tool
Tool
Man,
the Tim
Tool the
Man.
Tim Man Taylor, those Binford tools, and then probably his greatest role ever, Galaxy Quest,
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Oh, yeah.
I love that
greatest Star Trek movie
movie.
not to be a Star Trek movie.
That movie's
for sure.
perfect.
Yeah, love that movie. We're definitely covering that on the podcast at some point for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Judge Reinhold plays Neil. He was in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. He does a ton of television. He was also, I forgot about this till I looked it up. He was on an episode of Arrested Development where he played Honorable Judge Reinhold. And I think that's the
Yes.
funniest joke
Yes.
ever, that Judge
Yes.
Reinhold is playing a judge named Reinhold.
Right.
That is incredible.
I love that show.
Yeah,
dude.
best Arrested Development. I love it. So Charlie is played by Eric Lloyd. You might remember him from our Dunstan Checks In movie We mentioned him on there.
Oh yeah.
Go back and listen to that one in the archives. That was a good one.
I forgot we had to watch that.
There's a lot of
Cole.
episodes I
was on that
forgot
one,
we had to
thankfully.
watch.
That was a Cole Phen special.
Oh, it certainly was. So
Why do we
Bernard,
keep doing his movies?
I know. After Bubba Hotep, I just don't even ask him anymore.
Nope.
I still love
Easy.
Bubba Hotep. I love Bubba Hotep.
That's your opinion.
That was definitely not a Tinder 16 for me, bro, man. So Bernard, he's played by David Krumholtz. You might know him as a way raunchier character in a lot of other things that he's in. He's in Harold and Kumar. He's in The League. This Is the End. Super Bad. He's in 10 Things I Hate About You. He was in Serenity as Mr. Universe, which I got to rep Serenity and Firefly over here because I'm that idiot. But here's the thing that he was credited as most recently. And I was like, seriously? So in 2021, this is for our wrestling fans right now. So Krager's going to have no idea what this is.
Honorable Judge Reinhold.
Yes. In 2021, he played a character on Raw called Fake Drew McIntyre.
That's hilarious.
I need to go find this episode of Raw and see this dude.
I'm sure you can YouTube it.
Like, that's so weird. I love it. Okay, so the teacher in this movie that I love, she's been in a bunch of television, things like that. So Raven, Malcolm in the Middle, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So you've seen her around. She plays the same character like in everything.
Every time.
Scott's boss. Oh no, my voice. Hang on one second, guys. I gotta take a sip of water. This episode is brought to you by water, the local municipality's favorite utility.
We call it Earth Juice here.
We call it Rock Splooge over in California.
Yeah.
That guy plays the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond.
That's what I was going to say. His name is Peter Boyle. He plays the dad in Everybody Loves Raymond. And he's also in Young Frankenstein, which is my dad's favorite movie.
Also,
R.I.P., by the way.
It's a great movie.
Another thing we'll say for the conspiracy theories about this, he also plays Father Time in the later Santa Claus movie.
We're going to get into the whole TikTok conspiracy theory that you sent. I've written it down in length. We'll talk about it at the end here. The waitress Judy. Oh, did you see fake Drew McIntyre, Cam?
Yeah, and dude, they bring out Gilbert again.
Oh no, we have two
fan of the show.
We have two cameos from Gilbert. We got two Gilbert shout outs. I love it.
Not sure if it's Gilbert or
Goldberg,
the guy from Star Wars.
Oh, you mean Boss? Whatever, like.
I'm sorry. Jar Jar's king, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boss Nass or something.
Yeah.
Boss
It
Nass.
won't. This is so funny looking.
We'll look it up afterwards.
Like Drew McIntyre's body is just insane.
Oh my gosh.
And then just seeing him
Largest
come
dude
out
ever.
is amazing.
Largest dude ever. All right. So the waitress Judy, she was in the Dawn of the Dead remake, the Zack Snyder remake, as well as My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, that's a good one.
Josh Pasquin, the director. Hang on, let's see here. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Fake Drew McIntyre right there. Such a pudgy little guy. Josh Pasquin, the director, he is one of the Santas in the lineup at the cop station.
Oh, that's cool.
So made a little cameo there. So the reindeer voices, I don't know if this is true, but IMDb is crediting the reindeer voices as two people who make them. One of them is Frank Welker. Frank Welker is the voice of all the modern Scooby-Doo stuff as Scooby-Doo and Fred, as well as Megatron. And like he has 870 voice acting credits.
Holy crap.
So you've probably heard this guy's voice. The other voice actor, I didn't write his name down, but the thing that stood out to me the most is he voiced Goldar in the Power Rangers TV show.
Oh, interesting.
That's so dope.
Oh no, Rita!
Rita, the Power Rangers are at it again.
So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's get into some fun facts here, and then we'll do fan theories. So I got a lot of fun facts for you.
What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah. What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah.
The role of Scott Calvin was written with Bill Murray in mind. And they wanted to get Bill Murray to play the lead, but he declined, saying he didn't think it would suit his humor.
I could see it.
Interesting.
I think this is right up his alley.
he could. I mean, he would if he did it, it'd be good.
Yeah, he
but
would have played this character perfectly. I'm glad Tim Allen
Yeah.
did it, but like we have enough Bill
It's
Murray
too-
stuff. But you know,
This
Well,
is too over the top for Bill Murray.
Well, no,
I think
I-
Bill
I
Murray has
also-
a sweet spot.
I also think like Bill Murray has that like kind of like lack of empathy kind of character on most things. So like I feel like Tim Allen can play like the sweet side of Santa Claus better than Bill Murray can.
that's true. See, Bill Murray, I argue that this is actually Bill Murray works best in like crazy, fantastical, weird movies because he plays the straight man. He pretty much goes into a role like Ghostbusters or Groundhog Day, where it's like this really weird concept, but plays it like he's just in a drama, a regular comedy.
Yeah.
right?
I'm
Except
just
for
saying
Uncle
based
Buck.
on the dialogue and stuff, though. Like it's not.
Yeah, he would have had to ad lib a lot of his stuff.
all of it.
Mhm.
All of it.
It's true. It's true. So on the older releases of the film, Tim Allen makes a sarcastic remark in the movie where he includes the line 1-800-SPANK-ME. So the film, after it was released, a woman from Cleveland supposedly called the number and it was actually a phone sex line. So Disney like deleted it from all the movie, the stuff later on because people were complaining that their kids were racking up phone bills trying to call 1-800-SPANK-ME.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
Interesting.
yeah, they did
I
put
got
it
in trouble
back.
in junior high with my friends on the bus to La Mesa. We would call on our cell phones or new cell phones as many different sex lines we could think of. Like imagine it'd be like 1-800 boob or like
Just one
whatever.
boob.
And then we would listen to like the sexy girl voice and then be like and then like hang up. And like my dad's phone bill was like legit like this long.
It was a CVS receipt over there.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny. So according to the making of, the Tim Allen was miserable while shooting this film. It was shot in the summer in a non-air conditioned building, and when he was in full costume and facial prosthetics and the beard, the Santa suit was so hot that he had to take frequent breaks to cool off. When he got too warm, he would occasionally forget about the children who were playing elves and start cursing. So he got super
boy.
pissed. Also, he got like infections on his neck because like the prosthetic would be rubbing his neck so much, and he just got
Yeah.
these rashes that got super infected.
Interesting.
Whatever they paid him was not enough because it sounds like he had a miserable time filming this movie.
I can see that.
So when Scott and Charlie are driving the sleigh down that road and there's the truck driver and they're like, hey, if I go straight on this, do I hit I-94? That guy driving the truck is as the same guy who plays Benny on Home Improvement. So if you're a fan of Home Improvement, you know Benny is Tim's friend who's kind of like the screw
Yeah.
up. And he always wants free donuts and stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
that was Benny. So there you go.
Benny.
The police. Okay, here's the Home Alone 2 thing I was talking about. The police use a chalkboard to draw a layout of the neighborhood to capture Scott. On it, there is a note about neighbors being in Florida, which is a nod to Home Alone 2, where the McAllister family also lives in a Chicago suburb. So it's supposed to be that
The same.
the Neil and Laura's house is on the same neighborhood as the McAllisters.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
All happens on that street.
Oh, yeah, lots of stuff. So Paige
Way
Tamada,
too much.
who plays Elf Judy, appeared in an episode of Home Improvement. That's not that fun of a fact. Why did I write that one down? That's a stupid fact.
Yeah, that's not fun at all.
Here's a fun one for all you 90s kids. That odd-looking skateboard scooter toy is called a
Yeah.
rad board.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It
I
has
wanted one
Nice.
really bad.
8 wheels, 4 handle grips, and 3 skateboard decks.
It's
Yep.
rad.
That's a rad board, guys.
I wanted one. It looked
Rad
dope.
board.
I
It
wish.
did.
I didn't know anyone that had one, actually. Did you guys know anyone who had it?
I never rode one.
Nope.
I was on to the Razor around that time.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I
Razor's
never.
where
I
it's
didn't get
at.
a razor. Me and brother got micros, which are longer.
Oh, dude, I got a micro first.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
same.
I don't even know what micro is.
Yeah.
Did you
me
guys get
neither.
soaps?
I only knew razors.
What?
I wasn't allowed to get soaps.
I had soaps. The shoe
the
heck
had
is
the
soaps?
plastic on it that you
That
could
you could
grind on
grind
the
on?
sidewalk.
no, I did not have
Oh my gosh, I had
no.
it there.
Dude, did you grind?
I tried. I would like wax the sidewalk, and I'd
Yeah,
run up,
yeah.
and you would slide maybe like a Tinder 3-inch,
Yeah.
and all you would go.
And you were like, "Oh, I did that. I did so good." You should
Yeah,
have
I
grind."
thought it was so cool, and it came. My shoes came with a DVD or a VHS or something where you would play, and they'd be like, "Here's cool tricks you could do," and it was like a skate video, but they were only wearing soaps.
soaps. now Heelys teamed up with soaps, so you could buy Heelys that have a soap combo right now.
See, I had
that's a
Heelys.
dream.
I had Heelys
Loved
too.
them.
I never had
I
Heelys.
never had
Do they
Heelys.
make
I never had
adult
Heelys,
Heelys?
and I'm not to that day. That's why I think I have issues.
They do make adult Heelys. I bought some when I was working at Crespi, and I would occasionally pop them on and then roll across class, and the kids would lose their shit.
That's so funny. Oh man, I love that stuff. I want light up. You know what? Vans needs to make some light up versions of theirs for adults. That would be so
No.
much fun. Like a fun nostalgia bring back. Who doesn't want light ups?
Light up
want
shoes
LA
for
gears.
adults became pretty popular in rave culture.
That's true.
I
Actually, you're
believe
right.
that.
So
They do
they're
have
back.
those there. They are back. You're right. I'm not running in the right circles. That's my problem.
Yeah, you keep running ovals. It's weird.
I know, it's super weird. I got a weird inner ear infection or something. So David Avalon, who
Can
plays
only turn left.
Yeah. David Avalon, who plays the waiter at Scott's work lunch, later appeared in Elf as Pom Pom the Elf, which is kind of funny that this like random nobody background character is in two pretty classic Christmas movies.
Christmas movies, yeah.
Yeah, good on him. Originally in the script, Scott was supposed to shoot Santa on the roof.
Holy
And
crap.
originally the script took place in Texas, I guess. I don't know.
That tracks.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so here's my fun facts that are leading into fan theories. These fun facts are going to relate directly to our first fan theory. Peter Boyle, who is Scott's boss in the first film, appears in the second and third as Father Time, as Kreger pointed out. One of the children in Charlie's class during Parents' Day is an elf with pointed ears, which can be clearly seen when Charlie pulls a snow globe out of his backpack. When Charlie tells the class that his dad is Santa Claus, the elf is the only one in the class who doesn't laugh. To that point, there are also elves throughout this whole movie. In Denny's, you see him in the background. You see him at the beginning more blatantly when they're looking in the toy store. You have, let's see, who else do you have here? You have a girl walking behind the bench when Scott has the kids lined up at Charlie's soccer game. There's a girl in a purple coat that's an elf who walks by Scott and Charlie in the park. There's an attentive little boy in a blue turtleneck behind Charlie's desk during show and tell. Oh, that's what I just said. And so what this is supposed to show is that the group of elves are watching Charlie and Scott. And then at the end, at the Miller house, when things are all going down and then the elves, they like the group of them run away. Those are the group of elves we see throughout the movie. Now,
Right.
This brings us into our first fan theory here, which is from TikTok that Kreger sent us. And it's the Scott Calvin has been Santa all along theory. It's pretty much a time loop theory. So let me explain. Father Time, who was introduced in Santa Claus 2, but has been around since the first Santa Claus, as we know, sends Scott back in time to take his own place. Before Scott puts on the suit, the elves are already watching him. So that means they're already knowing that something's going to happen with Scott. So pretty much what they're saying is that Scott is Santa. When Santa falls down, Scott takes the suit and he starts to loop all over again. And the reason Santa disappears is because only one Scott can exist on one time plane at a time, right? So like he takes over now, the cycle starts up again. Now, to Joe's point about the elves seeming so nonchalant about Santa dying is the fact that they aren't surprised to see Scott because it's technically the same Santa they knew, and this cycle just keeps happening, so it's not weird to them. They've lived for thousands of years. So like, yeah, this is the part where young Scott comes in, he takes over the mantle, then he does it forever how long, and then he passes it on to reincarnated or time loop Scott that Father Time puts back into the loop. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going.
So that means that young Neil is in Scott Pilgrim.
Yes, good joke, Kreger. Big fan. Big fan of that joke. Love it. Brilliant.
So this theory, actually, it helps explain away some of the more morbid ideas that people bring up. Like, why is it okay to slowly watch a man die from falling off of a roof in a kid's movie? Why is no one grieving the loss of Santa at the North Pole? And where is the previous Mrs. Claus, if that's a requirement we find out in the second movie? Where is she?
He killed her too.
Well,
Also,
some people are saying that she just dies. Like when Santa actually dies, she just dies. But I like to think that in the loop, she passed away before him, and he, like, I don't know. I just slammed the mic. Sorry about that, listeners.
One thing I will say, working in a very dangerous field, It's long grass field. Get it? Okay. No. So it is actually safety
digress.
precaution. If someone is falling, you do not want to try and catch them. It is more harmful to both parties.
Oh, interesting. So I can just be like, sorry, Krager told me not to catch you.
OSHA said
And they're
no.
like,
See someone falling.
They're like,
Krager's
who's
right under them.
Krager?
Oh, they said not to catch you.
OSHA, sorry.
Oh man. So
Sorry.
though, so here's another fan theory for you. Elves are cannibals.
What?
So
I'm here for this
that's-
one. Go.
So the reason there are never any babies or Mrs. Clauses around is because they cremate them and use them as the cocoa mix to initiate new Santas. There's a whole theory behind this. I guess in the third Santa Claus, they go, because Mrs. Claus does get pregnant in the movie, and they're like, why don't we ever see babies? Why aren't they ever referenced? What the heck? In the third movie, they go into the kitchen, and there's a giant oven, and someone remarks, why is there such a big oven when everyone's so tiny? And it's because
Hitler was
they're
the first Santa
cremating.
Claus.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But they're cremating the babies and they're sprinkling them South Park style in whatever that kid's name's cocoa was.
Chris Teneman's chili.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Teneman's chili.
Oh my god.
Another
I like
fan
that
theory.
first theory better.
Yeah, me too. Here's another one though. Santa suicide theory.
Oh, geez.
So the theory goes that Santa hated his job and was
Too many
slacking.
people can have the internet.
I know. This movie has
Cam,
more
you
theories
love
than
Cam loves conspiracy theories. Why are you poo-pooing?
Yeah, but these are conspiracy theories. These are just like people that watch a movie and they're like, I need to post about this on 4chan.
It's funny because this movie has more fan theories than I've seen any other movie we've ever covered before. It was ridiculous. I did 4 of them, but there were literally at least 12 I saw. Like some of them were real dumb,
Jeez.
but there were so many out there. So the Santa suicide theory goes that Santa hates his job. He's been slacking for years, evidenced by the fact that Laura and Neil didn't get the presents they wanted. He just was like, whatever about it. So he decides to be
Maybe they weren't nice.
I think they would have gotten coal if they were naughty.
Or a worse gift. Something
Oh
you
man,
don't want.
what's worse? Santa
Yeah.
not giving you coal or Santa just neglecting you?
That's true. I don't know what's worse. Anyway, Santa was loud on purpose so that he could commit suicide and then pass on a job he hated to a different person. That's
I
a
like that
theory.
one. I'd do it.
There's also another theory that's the same exact thing, but instead of suicide, it's retiring, that he faked his death to retire. And that's why the elves aren't sad. They like helped him do it. And they know he's still alive, like chilling on a beach.
It was planned.
Yeah, with like no shoes on, jolly old Saint Croatian island or something.
Oh, maybe he's Uncle Nick. Because then he ended up being
Oh.
on the beach in his Hawaiian shirt.
And the
There he
puka
is.
shells.
Yeah. And
I
then
like
he
it.
became Santa again in 'Twas the Night.
I like
That's a
it.
beautiful tie-in, Joe.
That is a
I'm here
great
for it.
tie-in. Love it. Okay, final theory here.
Put it on the internet.
click, 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 click. I'm going to put it on the thing called the dark web. All right, so
Ooh.
Bernard is Santa's son theory. Bernard is the previous Santa's son, which explains why he appears older and taller than the other elves, because he's not full elf. He has a bit of human in him. The reason Bernard has the
Get it?
snow globe in the first place is because he was the son of Santa and then had to pass it on to Charlie, who is the new son of Santa, not son of Sam, son of Santa. It explains why Bernard gives Scott the cold shoulder and is snapping at him when he is taking the responsibilities lightly. He's pissed he killed his dad, essentially. So those are fan theories. Those
Interesting.
are things. Okay, so guys, you wanted to
I still
talk
like the
about
first one.
'Twas the Night here. It sounds like Krager had some problem. We're done talking about the Santa Claus. We're gonna do a in memoriam of our last episode that Krager and Cam were not a part of because just Joe and I did it. Hey, write in. Tell us what you think. Did Joe and I do a good job, just the two of us? I was
wasn't
surprised
bad, actually.
we had a full hour of content with just the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It
good.
was
It was good
it's
stuff.
moments.
Yeah, we're
But
pretty,
so
we're pretty good.
my Tinder science bones to pick with you guys. First of all, Will Ferrell is a treasure.
No, he's not.
What did I
will
say? Will
admit
Ferrell
his-
sucks? What did I say about him?
Both you guys are shitting on Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
I
he's
will
not that
admit
great.
his career
Huh?
his career has gone a little bit of the way of Adam Sandler as of late, but he is a great human being. He's
'Cause
been
you
with
know
the
him?
same woman like his whole
I didn't
life.
say anything
so-
about him personally. I just was not.
I know.
I'm, not a
I'm just
fan
saying
of
he's
his
a treasure.
movies.
Great
Yeah.
sports fan, partial owner of some sports teams. LAFC. He's one of the investors. As well. I lost it.
White rich guy. I gotta love him, right?
Cocaine.
No. You want to show his filmmaking? Who's the director of Tenet?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. In an interview, they were talking. They always talk about like, what's your mic? What's your remote drop movie? Where if it's on, no matter what part, you drop the remote and just continue watching it. That director said that Talladega Nights is his remote drop movie.
Oh man, if I could have lost more respect for Christopher Nolan after the whole open up the movies fiasco, I just did.
I love Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is
Will Ferrell
incredible.
movies were perfect.
Yes,
I'm
like,
not saying
his old
they're the worst
SNL,
movies
his
ever.
old SNL days and a lot of his earlier movies were incredible.
I don't remember what I said. I was probably doing more shtick than anything, but I don't mind his movies. They're just not top tier for me.
And I
Gotcha.
said that I like him in side roles where he's not
Yes.
the main focal person.
That's what we
You
said.
didn't,
You
e-
said
But
you
I
didn't
don't
even
side
mention.
roles.
You didn't even mention one of his great movies, freaking Old School.
When he got his big break, right? Yeah, Frank the
Yeah,
Tank,
that was
man.
his first. That was his first.
It came out
film.
right.
And
It came out during the time they were filming Elf, and they almost thought they
Yeah.
had to can him because they're like, we can't have Elf be Frank the Tank.
The Tank.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
I think the only Will Ferrell movies that I like when he is the lead is Old School and Anchorman.
Those are.
I
good
love
ones.
Step Brothers.
Step
I
Brothers-
think Step Brothers is one of the best movies ever made.
It's really good, and Talladega Nights is always gets me.
It's
You know,
also great.
speaking of, real quick to cut you off there 1 second, I just
Yeah.
watched 40-Year-Old Virgin again the other day, and I haven't
Mhm.
seen that movie in forever. That is a phenomenal movie with the weirdest last 5 minutes I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It goes like the movie is pretty realistic through most of it until it gets to the
And then
end,
you
and
get
I'm
that
like,
Age of Aquarius.
yeah, I'm like, what
Yeah.
happened? What is
Just like-
happening here? Did they just decide to be like, screw it?
We're done.
Yeah.
How do we end
Then,
it? Let's
yeah.
sing.
My other notes are Major Payne is an outstanding
Oh,
freaking movie.
I knew
We have to
Gregor would
cover
like
it.
Major
It is
Payne.
incredible.
If
we
anyone-
have to watch it. It
If
is
anyone
so
was
good.
gonna advocate for Major Payne, I knew it was gonna be Gregor.
I love Major Payne. Like I used to watch that on Laserdisc, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Also, Sex Drive, amazing. We should probably cover that as well.
I would cover
We
that one
probably
again.
shouldn't.
I haven't seen that in forever, and I would like to rewatch
Also,
that
I was
movie.
very shocked you got this wrong. You said the older brother was like a Sean William Scott kind of guy. It's James Marsden.
Oh, you're right. It's James Marsden. I knew it was someone who was like a pretty face.
I wouldn't compare him to
No,
Sean William Scott.
I
but,
just-
But they played like the same role.
They
Or he
both-
played a Sean William Scott type role.
Yeah, he played it. He
yeah,
definitely
okay,
did play
okay,
Sean
yeah,
William
yeah.
Scott. in
That
that
role
movie.
was very Sean William Scott. I love the two dudes that drive around in the Fast and Paul Walker's first car in Fast and Furious. They drive around in that movie, and they're always all like, "Our dicks are huge, yeah, huge. You can see it from space, yeah, space."
I remember those
Great.
guys driving the
Cracks me up
Eclipse.
every time. Yeah, but
That's it?
Those
Those were your notes?
There you go.
Yeah. 3
Well,
bullet points. That's all you need.
Nothing on 'Twas the Night itself?
just
That was-
Joe and I
No,
talking
you
about
guys,
other
you guys,
stuff.
you guys did a good job covering that, man.
You know what I will say about our podcast? Is we do a thorough job of covering the topic that we say we're going to cover. Most of our complaints come from the things we talk about outside the topic. So
No, I mean I watched the movie. You guys talked about it. Don't ever want to watch it again.
Cam is
so.
dying over there.
I miss you guys.
His broccoli's all steamed now.
Yeah, I got steamed broccoli.
I
Right
mean, "'Twas the Night" was not that great, so
now. It was
No.
good. It was fantastic.
It was great. Top tier.
It was the best episode of Breaking Bad I've ever seen.
Seriously though, it was. All right, guys. So if you like this episode and you like our show, why don't you go check out RegMaPodcast.com, where you can find our Redbubble store. We haven't had anyone buy merchandise in a really long time.
I
Granted,
never
Stopped
bought my
advertising
shirt.
it.
granted, I haven't made any new stuff for it. Joe, you were supposed
Nor
to
have you
send me.
advertised it on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Joe was
let me
supposed
know
to
what format.
It's
you want
past
that in.
Halloween.
It's okay. It'll be for next year. We can still put it up there.
Joe was supposed
I'll
to
make a
send me.
Christmas one.
Yeah, Joe was supposed to send me a cool one for Halloween, and then I was bugging you to send it to me, and I totally forgot. And then now here we are at Christmas.
Can we make shirts for like really obscure holidays that don't matter? Like,
yes,
everyone has like a Christmas shirt. Like, can we get like an Arbor Day shirt?
I would love an Arbor Day shirt. How about
Boxing
waffle
Day
with a
shirt.
side of maple syrup day?
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I saw this shirt. I want to get. It says, "My parents went to Hawaii, and all I got was molested by my summer school camp counselor."
What is that a reference to?
It's just funny shirt.
Oh my god.
Is it though?
This
I
guy's
thought it was-
advocating for Will Ferrell over here. He knows comedy.
It gave me a
Yeah,
chuckle.
Don't throw us. No, not all Will Ferrell apologists want a shirt that talks about molestation. Okay,
What is molestasia? Is that somewhere in
Molestasia.
Asia?
worst part of Asia.
Terrible.
It's actually where
molestasia.
the mall is in Asia.
We can have one that says "Wreck My Podcast." Check out. No, what was I gonna say? Check out our box, and then say "Happy Boxing Day." With a bunch of
Ooh.
presents.
That'd be a
Boxing
good
Day
one.
would be a good one. That'd be we should
not do Christmas. Do a Boxing Day one.
I like this shtick. We should do obscure Halloween holiday shirts. I like that idea.
obscure Halloween. shirt.
Obscure Halloween shirts. Yes, very obscure. So anyway, go check
Can
out.
that just be a picture of a crow dressed as a scarecrow just screaming?
I hate myself.
I always scare myself. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, a crow, just a scarecrow looking in the mirror, going, "Ha!"
That's the best thing ever. We got to make that shirt now. That's a real time loop right there. That's hell. So wreckmypodcast.com, our Redbubble store, our Instagram, our YouTube, our Patreon is there. Go check out that. For $1 a month, you can be entered in our raffle where we give away stuff every month, as well as you get one extra episode a month that the freebies don't get. Those normies over here, they don't get it. But if you don't want to spend money and you want to support us, a great way to do that is to go give us a rating or a review. Typically 5 stars would be preferred, but if you want to be that guy, I guess you can. That's cool.
Do we have any 4-star reviews yet?
No, we have only 5-star reviews. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They come for the broccoli and they leave for the
Cauliflower.
All I did was listen to Wreck My Podcast and I got molested by gym teachers.
Oh man. Well, guys, thanks for listening. Thank you for being here. We'll see you all. Hey, have a Merry Christmas. I'm sure we might have another episode before Christmas, but have a Merry
just in case.
Have a Merry Christmas, and to our UK fans, have a Happy Christmas. Okay, bye.
And just happy holidays to other people.
Nah. They get out of here. There are no other holidays. The war on
Happy
Christmas.
holidays to other people.
Cam, it's got the war on Christmas.
Jordan's all pissed off that his Starbucks cup is just red.
Oh, why is it not Christmassy? Anyway, give me that donut. Bye, guys.
Bye, I love you.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Marcomus.
Wreck My Podcast. Wreck My Podcast.
Oh man, how did I had double the amount of notes as the 'Twas the Night episode, yet we got done earlier.
Because 2 more people.
But that should be longer. That's what I'm saying.
it should be.
We had more people in this episode and double the notes, and we went shorter than 'Twas the Night.
I don't know what to
Because
say, man.
I don't know. We just went to this
We didn't
crazy
get off
hypertensive-
topic really at all.
That's true. We didn't get off topic except for molestation.
If it's not 9/11 jokes.
It's not worth it. Hey, so what do you guys think?
9/11.
What do you guys think about Eclipse?
I can't.
Dude.
I'm
Dude, I don't
so-
want to see
Oh
Bella having
my
another emo moment.
No, we
I
don't.
sent that to Cole, and Cole said, "Oh man, the Twilight franchise is getting crazy."
Who do you guys think that weird gooey Matrix pod dude is gonna be?
I don't know. I want to know who Darth Goo is. I need to know. And
Darth
I
Goobus
don't-
Bloobus.
I don't think
don't
any of the
have-
characters are going to be like familiar to anyone that we've seen
Did you
before.
not see Yoda?
It's probably not going to come
Doesn't-
out on the
doesn't
on the
technically
Switch,
mean
and
it's
I don't
Yoda.
own any other system.
Oh, it could be
Yeah.
Yaddle.
No, that was probably Yoda, but it was probably like 400 years ago. Because we obviously see, or the game might actually be different time periods too.
Well, they said it's in the High Republic area, right? So like it's
So Yoda would be young.
Yeah.
Yoda would be really young, but
He'd
there's
be a
also
youngling?
even in KOTOR, there's one of his species on Dantooine in the Jedi.
Oh.
Code.
Yeah. He has a species. Everyone thinks it's Yoda, but it's not.
If this is High Republic, can we get the first game with Darth Bane in it?
Dude, that would be insane.
Isn't Darth Bane the Old Republic?
No, I think he was during the High Republic.
during the High Republic?
Joe would know about the High Republic.
Because old Republic was Darth Revan and Malik.
Yeah, Revan and Malik. You're right. Yeah, that was the Sith
Yeah.
Wars.
And Nihilus.
And then
What if
Darth
Darth
Bane
Bane
was
is
the
just
one who
gooey?
killed all the Sith and created the order of the rule of two.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that they dove into Bane? If they dove into Bane, then that's going to be
It wouldn't
wild.
surprise
I'd be
me.
so
I
happy.
think Bane and Revan are probably the two most requested like Sith Lords to come.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
I'd
guys.
love to see a Darth
Speaking
Revan
of
thing.
KOTOR, you can get it for your Switch, and we've been playing it a whole bunch.
Ooh, that's nice. Can you take it on the go?
Like a remastering or a
No,
like the
it
online
looks-
version.
It looks identical to the like original Xbox One or PC one, but it's
It's still fun.
still so fun.
Aruba, Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
2, 1.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing
Yeah, that
1,
looks good.
2, 3 Yeah, we're
Man,
good.
why are Sega Dreamcast so expensive?
You just looked
Oh,
the
I miss the
Dreamcast up?
Dreamcast days.
Yeah.
They're so
That's just
expensive because they were like a console before their time, and now you can't find them anymore. But
Yeah.
look for the Sega Saturn. That's the
Sega.
That's a
Sega
real.
Saturn's where it's at, man.
Yeah,
I miss the Dreamcast days playing Crazy Taxi and shit.
I never got a Sega Saturn. I got a Sega Uranus, but you know,
I had a
Wah,
Genesis,
wah, wah.
and my uncle still has one.
the
The
Genesis is
Genesis-
cool.
Genesis was the first console my family had.
Same for me.
I think
Sega Saturn's $270.
that's probably cheaper than what it was when it came out.
No, I doubt
You don't think so?
You know what I've been looking for everywhere, and I can't find, and when I do, it's just ridiculously expensive.
the clitoris.
Is it me you're looking for?
I'm looking for the instruments to Rock Band.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Those are probably really hard to find
Like
because
the drum. I'm looking for drums and another guitar.
so many of them are
And the
probably
mic.
broken. Kids
Mhm.
just slamming on them and stuff like that. Yeah,
Just beating the hell out of those things.
yeah. You gotta make
Can't
your
find
own,
them
man.
anywhere. Just gonna have to get an electric drum kit.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh
Just-
man, what a shame.
Yeah, just go full for it, man.
Oh darn.
Wreck my podcast.